Yes, I'm back, and today I'm just gonna revise the clinical notes from the fourth edition of SNAS, actually, which is about the clinical anatomy of the processus vaginalis. Processus vaginalis. Okay, so what is the processus vaginalis? The processus vaginalis is a peritoneal diverticulum. The processus vaginalis is a peritoneal diverticulum formed in the fetus that passes through the layer of the anterior abdominal wall, and it forms the inguinal canal. All right. So this is a very basic definition of what the processus vaginalis is. It is an outpouching of the peritoneum or a peritoneal diverticulum, which forms during the fetal period. It passes through the anterior abdominal wall and into the inguinal canal, and it forms the inguinal canal. The tunica vaginalis is the lower expanded part of the processus vaginalis. So you have the processus vaginalis, and the lower extended part of the processus vaginalis is known as the tunica vaginalis. Normally, just before birth, the cavity of the tunica vaginalis becomes shut off from the upper part of the processus and the peritoneal cavity. The tunica vaginalis is thus a closed sac because the lower end of the tunica vaginalis, just before birth, it shuts off from the upper part of the processus vaginalis, which communicates with the peritoneal cavity. So it forms a closed sac invaginated from behind by the testis. The following anomalies may occur: preformed sac of indirect inguinal hernia, preformed sac of indirect inguinal hernia. Right, so it could form a preformed sac of indirect inguinal hernia. The processes may persist partially or in its entirety as a hernial sac. Congenital hydrocele. Congenital hydrocele. The processus vaginalis becomes narrowed but not obliterated and remains in communication with the abdominal cavity. Peritoneal fluid accumulates in it, forming a hydrocele. Next is encysted hydrocele of cord. Encysted hydrocele of the cord. The upper and lower ends of the processus becomes obliterated, leaving a small intermediate encysted area. This presents as a small fluctuant swelling in the inguinal region, often within the inguinal canal, that moves medially on gentle downward pulling of the testis and the covering of tunica vaginalis. Gubernaculum testis. So there's something called the gubernaculum testis. The gubernaculum testis is a muscular ligamentous cord that connects the fetal testis with the floor of the developing scrotum. It plays an important role in the descent of the testis, and it is homologous to the female round ligament of the ovary and the round ligament of the uterus. So it is the gubernaculum testis is muscular ligamentous. It's a muscular ligamentous cord, and it connects the fetal testis to the flow of the developing scrotum. And it's important, it plays a part in the descent of the testis, and it is basically similar to or homologous to the round in females, round ligament of the ovary in females, as well as the round ligament of the uterus.